Ooh, there was just a tsunami in the Pacific Ocean
Tonight?
in Tonga. 3 minutes ago, there was a 6.6.
Where's Tonga?
Tonga, it's in the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, okay.
Down where the important people go.
Where the...
Down where you have to have privilege of access by means of resources. It's not just for the
people.
The basics.
Oh, the basics.
You gotta be special
Oh, special.
to be able to say, yeah, you could go there
I
and
love-
see what these people have seen before you.
I love your
I've done
smile.
some special things. Thanks, Mom.
Oh.
I've done a few special things that not everybody else has gotten to do
But you got it
because
done.
of access.
But you got it
Well,
done.
they also don't choose to spend their resources on it.
Oh.
I remember 10 years ago I went down Grand Canyon. That was like
Did
one
you
of the,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
that was like the only cool trip I ever took with my father and my brother.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
I must have took a couple thousand photos. Over here? Luna's in the cone now. Artie's off the cone. Now Luna's in the cone. She's got a hot spot on her leg. And so she kept chewing on it while I went into town today. She chewed it raw.
Oh.
So I put this silver honey stuff on it. It's supposed to be real good. It's an antimicrobial spray gel. So it's for that stuff. I'm having a hard time energetically. My body's just in a lot of pain, and I'm just really trying to stay one day at a time. Yeah, because there are so many shifts. Literal, the earth is shifting, and people know it. Look at all those 5. It's Sunday, August 25th, 555. 25555. And so a lot of people are uncomfortable. They don't even know why, but it's because there's so many stupid shifts. Proven to stop 99% of bacterial immediately to start healing faster. Safe for all animals. Contains neem oil. Bitter agent prevents licking. No, it doesn't. My dog. I've never seen a bitter agent that's actually worked. Prevents me. I get it on my lips, and I'm going like bleh for an hour. So, it's okay. Tough on bacterial and gentle on skin, effective on cuts, abrasions, sores, rain rot, rashes, funguses, scratches, hot spots, and burns for horses, dogs, and all animals. 5+ UMS. So it's just hard, man. They're all old. I got 4 old dogs. It's just hard. It's just hard to make a commitment to love things their whole entire life, man. And then I look out in the world and I see so many things that if somebody made that commitment, that there's a whole lot of people that got lied to, you know, because there's a whole lot of people, Mom, that are just, they got no place to go. They're living in their cars. More and more, all ages. All ages, man. These people are working 3 jobs and they can't even feed their kids. You know, they're no different than me when we were growing up.
That's true.
You know, only we had like $55 in food stamps.
Yeah.
When Mom was born, I had a realization today that I wonder if I'll ever get if the universe creator is ever going to answer my questions in life, which creator has a lot. Like, I always wanted to know where we came from. Because Mom was adopted. And so, yeah, you knew you were adopted. She started out in an orphanage in El Paso, Texas. And she was adopted, and then I'll be down, careful what you wish for, because we ended up right back where she was born. Nobody wants to know her still. Like, it's not like they recognize her as the long lost sister and want to make her acquaintance. No, nobody. We're still ignored. We're together, we're together.
That's,
Creator kept us together, and that's a marvelous feat.
it is.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, how did it happen? It's such a remarkable story. That's why I tell it here. Because my life is oh so remarkable. And people that have average lives, and I look at average lives as like, you were born and raised, you got all the advantages, because all your family got all the advantages, and all the good parking spots, and the good jobs.
Yeah.
And when somebody important comes into town, you get tickets. Someone gives you tickets for some event for free. All the while, there's this whole population of people in the world that we're just throwaway people, and we're just trying to find a place to fucking be, where we don't have to move around no more. But because we're outsiders, we're not welcome. And I've seen it my whole life, because we moved around. My 12th grade year on this planet was probably the hardest year I was alive. And I went to 4 different schools, and then there was 7 weeks that I didn't go to school at all. And I always thought like everything that I needed to learn in life was always taught in those schools. I thought all schools, all grades were like completely uniform, and they all taught the same thing. Then we started moving around, and this district teaches this thing, and this one teaches, and they don't all buy their books from the same publisher, and not all the same publishers report the same stories. Life is such a trip, man. So, yeah. Me and Mom, so the realization that I had today, I was like, you know what? I bet it happened. Because Mom was born with 2 club feet. Now, you know what? That's one thing I never looked up, Ma. I never looked up club feet. There was just another earthquake.
Wow. Today?
Right now.
Yeah.
So there's 2, maybe, because it said this. Hold on. Earth is changing, man. We might see like land masses coming out of the Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean and stuff. Like Atlantis might come back and shit, Like we don't know, because like the Earth we're no different than the Earth. We grow from like getting quiet and finding where the leaks are and fixing those hurts and that shit, And then we grow from within. We grow, and Earth ain't no different. She grows from within. Only she does it with fucking molten lava and shaking plates and sliding plates, and Earth don't care about our fucking beachfront property and stuff like that. And it's just been nothing but landslide, because there's fires, and after the fires, and then there's rain, and then there's all those roots and stuff to hold the ground in place. They aren't there no more, so all that land just slides on down, and it don't matter that your family cabin's been there for generations, is wiped out. It's like maybe you should have been more welcoming to travelers. There's so much karma. I know what karma is, man. I'm bad with like yelling at people and that are fucking rude, but then I'm rude too, so I gotta learn, I think, in this next part of my life, to just allow things and just like make fun, and say things and not be like so, because people are like, scary lady, and I'm like, I'm fucking 5'3", what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna do nothing, and plus I'm a peaceful being. What, we gonna wrestle? You want to have a dance off? I mean, what's the outcome here, And so, I went to the store today, and I saw that dude Fritz, that traveling kid. He did the Little Rascals thing. I've seen that, and I forgot that it was Little Rascals, because he was doing, and because people do different things, and it don't always originate from the same place. So I said, well, now you do that, so why? Because I stopped and we had a conversation, and he came from like, he just came from California, and that's why I like travelers, because I'm like, tell me how the world is. Tell me what it's like out there. And then I told him a little bit how first time in '89 I went to San Francisco with Joycey and Becky and Jamie, and we went down to stay with Al. Al worked at Tower Records. I worked at Tower Records in San Francisco, the cool one, and he's the one that taught me. Because I'm one of those that, like, I feel energy, and people would say I don't look in people's eyes. It's not true. It's not entirely true. It's not entirely, but there are people that I haven't, because I'm feeling their energy. So I don't have to look at them, to feel what they are like. So we were walking through the streets of San Francisco, and this is after we pull in right off the off ramp, right? Right on. I can't remember the exit, but you just come off the Bay Bridge, and you come off this big, like, long off ramp. It's probably entirely different now. That was so long ago. That was back when the earthquake happened and stuff, and the bridge collapsed. And I didn't want to go over that bridge no more. And so, we pull off the exit at the first light, and there's a dude laying down on the ground. There is a dead hobo. It's a dead transient dude, and these people are running up to him and stuff, and he's just laid out on the ground. And I was like, welcome to San Francisco. There's a lot of San Francisco stories. The night me and Mike went out there. We spent a New Year's there, and Mike was a masculine. He wasn't big enough and hairy enough to be a bear, but he was like a big brother, and he taught me about Gay While Away, and he had a big old blazer, and we would go off on adventures. Like, we'd go to gay bars in Reno, and went to one in Stockton, and we spent this New Year's Eve in San Francisco one time, and I was like, this next year I'm not gonna drink. I'm gonna dedicate my life to. I'm totally blitzed, right? And I'm just like, I'm just not gonna drink. I'm dedicating my life to a life of sobriety. And he's like, it's already too late, because I thought it was like 11:30, and I was gonna make my New Year's resolution, but it was 3, so I already fucking blew my resolution before I even started out. And then he liked his little brown boys, and he had a type, and we went to this bar. We started out at these leather bars, right? Where all the, like, the leather, the daddies and stuff, like, they're all these terms, but they all change and stuff, and I'm there with Mike. So I'm just going along, and and I think I'm always Marge. I always think either people really embrace me or really like me, or I get 86. There really isn't an in between. 86, like, get out of my bar, get out of here, we never want to see you, we don't like your kind. And I'm like, what is my kind? I don't understand. I'm in a gay bar. Like, what more? What kind am I? Nobody ever tells me what kind I am. And I have a history of blackout drinking. I call them time machines. Like, I go blackout, like 3 hours have passed, and I come back in, and I'm just like, okay, what are we doing? That's why I don't drink, man. Where am I? Am I still in New Mexico? That's why I don't do it, dude. It don't do me no favor. Don't do me no good. Makes me puffy, bloated. You never have healthy bowel movements, that's for sure. And anyway, so what else? A lot of life shift, a lot of changes, a lot of transitioning right now. You know, I go out to walk around. That's what I did. Is I go out and I walked around because I get so stiff, and I think that this is my belief system, and this is how it's been for a very, very long time, based on evidence that I've collected. You know how the Earth is 70% water and 30% mass, and we're 30% we're 30% mass and 70% water. Also, the human being. Like and that's why it's important to stay hydrated, to keep the water in you, because we're mostly water, and keep that flowing. Now I know so many people with kidney disease, and you ask them how much water do you drink, and it's just like, when you gotta think the last time you drank water, that's not enough water. It just makes me sad that people don't even care to know how to take care of their own ecosystem. That's all right. I understand. I've been like that in periods and time in my life. I just understand the consequences. And I know that I'm going to be on this planet. I don't think I'm going to live a nice, ripe old age like Mom. No. That's why I think that it's really cool that I get opportunity to help her, in the winter season of her life, and be with her, because I don't think I'm going to have that same experience, because I'm a freak of nature. I was thinking about that. I am literally a military lab experiment. Literally. I'm a lab experiment. That the United States government. I was I was their test subject.
Oh, a test subject.
Like the Incredible Hulk. Where they stuck him with stuff, and that's what they did to me. Only the Incredible Hulk, they stuck him one time, right? Me, I got stuck 2 times. They got me. They put it in each arm. They give you one on this side and then one on that side, and then if you don't die in 2 months, they give you one on this side and one on this side, and if you don't die in 2 months, they give you one on this side and one on this side, and if you don't die in 2 months, they give you one on this side and one on this side. And so everything hurts. And I hear these people that say, God just removes your pain. He'll just fix you. All you have to do is ask. I just want to fucking... I can't say out here what I want to do. Because they don't understand what it really feels like to hurt. That my whole life is to help alleviate people's pain, because I believe that if you help alleviate people's pain, they're not going to do those things. They're going to be less inclined to do those things. This is how my experience has been. I was led to do those things that cause harm to other people. But they got to use their energy. So anyway, so many, there's the studies that have been done that when you talk harshly on water, that it turns the molecules, it like makes them all disheveled and stuff like that. And so, hold on. You want over here? Come on. Come over here. I don't want to hear you crying. So get to where you want to be. Because I'm not down for the whining thing. I ain't hanging with that. Nope. Good boy. We got water, I got root beer, I got a cookie. Made these cookies the other day. They're Heath toffee pieces and mini peanut butter M&Ms.
That sounds good.
I'll make you some that you can have. You can't have those, Mom. You'll be drooling on yourself in 5 minutes. Those are special cookies. Yeah. So, so when you talk negatively to water, it changes the molecular structure of the water, makes it all disheveled and all ugly. And, well, when people keep talking ugly, that's what they're doing to themselves. You know?
Yeah.
And then that changes the molecular structure of the water, and then it starts, and then, like, you know, it's when people are spewing too much negativity and they can't, you know, and they're not being positive enough where it can override the negativity. I believe that. And then plus people feel bad, and then and then on top of just that, they're self-medicating with alcohol and preserve food with like fast food and nasty, gross, like bleh, all that nasty, gross shit. And it just makes for a highly toxic environment, mind, body, and spirit. And I think that's how cancers are caused. Because I noticed that a lot of people that like change their thinking have reversed cancer. You know, and I mean, I remember seeing back when I was a little girl, people that got sick and they started like watching I love shows that made them laugh, whatever, I Love Lucy, you know, whatever shows made them laugh, and just that help, you know, like, that's why I don't ever want to, I go to the doctor and get my blood checked. Anything besides that, I really don't care to know, you know. I really don't want to know. And I'm never going to do chemo or anything like that. If something happens that requires it, I freaking won't do it, dude. That's not my way. It's not even in my DNA. That's why I try to, you know, I lift my dumbbell, I go walking around. I went walking around today, and I went to because I set out for the intention to go to the kitchen store to buy, I want to get a ceramic skillet. I got all this Teflon non-stick stuff. I want to get rid of it all. I don't want it. So I go down there, and I walk in, I said, "Do you have ceramic, you know?" And she's like, "Oh no, someone talked me into getting rid of all of it. We have cast iron." I was like, "Nah, that's not what I want." And the other place was closed because the employee was sick. So I was trying to peek through the windows. I did see one comparable, so I'll go back the next day that it's open and just get that one. Because, anyway, I was happy to hear. I don't know how to. Okay, I'm gonna change the trajectory of the conversation. I like using the park, and I can't stand when the city and county block it off. Like, people are paid to put up fences, and they're all greened out. So don't think you could even look in here at all the good times we're having. You're welcome to come in and pay, but other than that, you can't be a part of our little event in here. It's just so stupid. I don't know. I hate bureaucrats. I can't stand politicians. I told the guy at the flower shop today, I said, you know how I know lawyers suck? And he's like, how? I said, because my brother's one. And he laughed at it, because I'm so tired of fucking people protecting scumbags. And I got plenty of scumbags in my life. And they, you know, I did them a lot of favor by just always keeping their scumbaggery to them myself. But that's how cancers are caused. Cancers are caused by lying and keeping secrets. So, you know, I'm not going to keep their secrets. So, you know, maybe if they didn't want people to know how poorly they treated us, they shouldn't have done that shit. They don't want me talking about it. Jerome Allen Hessick, you know, assistant chief counsel for the Office of Parole, the state of California. I should have his bar number, you know. I should have that memorized by now, but I don't. I was there in 2007. I worked at Creighton. And I worked at Creighton was a law school, you know, so I know with the bar, I knew a lot of people that were waiting for the bar results to come out. And my brother was one of them that year. So I was on the site and I put his number in and I just kept refreshing. I was the one doing that. Did he pass? So I got to say congratulations on passing the bar. Now he makes $264,000 a year. And he said, I said, Jerry, I need help finding a place to live closer to you and the girls. You know, it'll be good for mom. It'll be good for me, you know. I could take pictures and, like, you know, keep, you know, be there, watch them grow up and stuff. And he was, like, so mad that I didn't move there from Nebraska, that I went to Oregon first, that he was, like, punishing me or something about it. And he said, no, mom's your problem. Get rid of 2 of your dogs and put mom in a home. And I was like, what? Okay, what? Like, he did a 180. Like, he ain't my brother. Like, who is this guy, you know? And then he, like, punished me, wouldn't let me. He came up to Salem and mom came to pick up mom, and I wasn't even allowed to see the girls because I had drank alcohol and I quit drinking again. But he's like, well, maybe you could see him after you're sober 6 months, and it's only been 3. So I didn't get to go hang out. I mean, it broke my heart, you know. Like, I know what it is when people are fucking wicked and evil and want to come home because I come from it. I grew up around it. And so, the last conversation we had, it was the second to the last conversation he had, because we had 2, because he was like, you know, because it's not just he was like a, you know, he was a bully brother. No, he was a fucking, there is an instance he was over 18, I was 16. I was like hanging out with my dad, visiting my dad. My dad was done with me. He didn't want to hang out with me anymore. He said, that's it. I'm just going to take you to your brother's. Well, unbeknownst to me, mom had come down from Redding to bring my brother groceries because he had just moved into his first apartment for college. And so mom showed up. My brother has his own traumas. He don't like surprises because of his own trauma. And so he yelled at mom, freaked out. She left the groceries and took off. Came back home. He sent her home without me. And so when I showed up, I could tell he was just infuriated, you know. And my dad stuck around for a minute. And he was just all, yeah, whatever, I'm out of here. Blah, blah, blah. It's always about, you know, him and his comforts and stuff. And as soon as that door closed, I was like, he was, my brother I could see a switch, and he was just fucking livid. And he came out, and my brother he didn't win, but he still went to state in wrestling, you know. He still was much, much stronger than I was. He had still just went through basic training and learned all these tactics, you know. And I'm a 15-year-old girl. And so he freaking lashed out on me, did one of his wrestling moves. I'm on the ground and he's pinning me. And I'm like turn into like claustrophobic, like, cause he used to do this shit when I was like, don't hold me down. Don't try to. And he did, and I fucking grabbed him in the nuts to get him off me. And he got off, you know, gets off me, you know, and all that stuff. or for just a split second, and then he freaking just saw red, and he grabbed me and fucking flipped me, and the back of my skull went down on the concrete floor. And I could feel there was no, I was like, oh look, it's just concrete. There's just carpet and there's no carpet pad. And that was the base of my skull. And I saw stars. And he got up and said, "Get up, you're driving back to Reading." And I was like, I shook it off. And then he made me drive his Falcon that Dad bought him for his high school present. He got a 67 Camaro yellow Falcon. I got a t-shirt that said 4 years of school. And all I get is this lousy t-shirt and no car. I put it in the garbage. And so he made me drive home. And so that's why he throws us away now. Because he didn't make it right. He didn't turn into a kind and loving brother. He just stayed the abuser. And so he became successful. And the truth will come out. People will find out who he is. Because I'm a good motherfucking person. And I used to think that I was a shitty person. Because of how people looked at me with such disdain. And contempt. They're just jealous because I'm a good fucking person. And they don't even know how to be. So someday, somebody's going to walk up to him and be like, "I know that you slammed Margie's head into the floor." And he's going to lose his shit. Because he's such a private person. And it's my truth. And if he doesn't like it, he shouldn't have slammed my head in the door. And if he didn't want people to think he's an abuser and maintain that status, he wouldn't have thrown me and Mom away 3 years ago when I went to him in tears and asked him for help. Because I'm nacho neurotypical. I'm autistic, Jerry. He said I never saw the test results. I said I was raped when I was a 10-month-old baby. He said I never saw the police report. I said I did. I know my hip pops. Well, we don't know if that's true. I said, it's not your truth to know, it's mine. And you never supported me. And that will haunt him. So I don't have to do anything. I don't have to. This is the remarkable life that I can live, is to show people that you can forgive people and let that go. Because I'm not angry about it. I can't be angry because my body will flare up. And when my body flares, my mind doesn't know the difference between something I should be scared about now or something that I'm mad about from so long ago. So I just do myself the favor of staying in the present moment. Because God isn't in the past. God is the gift of doing the right thing right now in the present moment. And God's not in the future. Unless you make it to the future, present moment after present moment, one day at a time. The dark days are here. It's been dark for me and Mom for so long. We know how to do it, man. We've been surviving our whole lives. You know, I think Mom was born upside down, feet first. And they grabbed her feet by the tongs, and that's how they became deformed. And she needed, they said club feet, deformities of the feet. Because her feet, I never understood it. Because her feet are so small, they're this big. My mom's foot's that big. The size of his $1 bill, And to come from a family of 2,000 people, to be born to a daughter to take care of you when all those people turned away. We're here to show people how to take care of each other. If anything. Because if it kills me, I'm going to make sure that she's comfortable till her last breath. It's my commitment to her, you know? And she's my best friend the other day, you know, because sometimes it's hard. Days are hard. Like navigating through life with my brain, it ain't easy. I don't like people. That's why I go off out at different times of the day when I decide to go out at all. And she looks at me yesterday and she goes, I'm getting hot. Hold on a second. I say, Ma, you probably had the hardest life of anybody I ever known, and you still have faith in God. You know, you still have a charitable heart. You know, you're still a giving soul. You still taught me to be a giving soul. You didn't let the world, the darkness, take your light, Ma. And then you gave me that strength, so the world won't, you know, hopefully it don't. I don't know. I'm okay for today. Some days I worry. So, and she said, you know, you're the only one that ever really truly cared about me. And I freaking, my eyes welled up, and I just gave her the biggest hug and kiss, because you know what? She is such a remarkable, and the most remarkable people on the planet are the quiet ones. You know? Are the quiet ones. I'll blow my nose. I'm such a I cry all the time. Anyway, I was talking to my friend today, and I asked her to Google me, cause I can't find stuff on my it's my algorithm. I know how technology works. I get how it works. And so it was funny. I told her, I said, you know what? I said, my brothers, I said, cause I'm not like a stalker, but I look just to see what comes up sometimes. And I didn't do it for a number of years. Like, I wouldn't Google people. And then I'm like, well, fuck it. Let's just see what comes up. So, and I hadn't for a while, so I Googled my brother this morning. That's why it's so cathartic. It's just to talk about it, you know. It's just because it was on my mind today. Like, I woke up and it was on my mind this morning. And so I look it up, and I was like, why do they change people's names? Why do they change kids? And I went down this whole trajectory because this is all public record. You know, like, you know, if you're so private, why'd you become a lawyer? Like, especially in California where everything's about transparency, you know? And I got a screenshot. He's such a douche. He's such a douche. Oh my God. Well, what it came up for me is it came up as every address that he had from the time that he was in college. Like, including the one where that incident happened where he freaking slammed my head into the door, you know, or into the ground. It says here, see, because my family's connected, I'm just breaking the family curses. I just live from my heart. Ask him, he'll tell you. You live from your heart, Margie, and it's time for you to live logically. And again, so I am the epitome. I am what the world has not been ready for, but probably needs a little bit more of, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. So, okay. He's worked as an attorney, assistant chief counsel for the state of California in 2003. So this was a year ago. His birthday was yesterday, too. That's probably why he's on my mind. He and my dog have the same birthday. My dog has provided more love and loyal and companionship in his life in his 14 years on Earth than my brother has in his 53. So, yeah, I'm not going to get rid of my dogs because, you know, which ones? No. So he had a reported pay of $194,358 according to public records. This is 180.1% higher than the average pay for state employees and 170.9% higher than the national average for government employees. Wow. See, because back, what they would do is they they would find kids that would get in trouble, right? But you could tell, like, you're just you're a smart person, but you're running with the wrong crowd. So you'd have to have a meeting with the judge, and the judge, you'd have to, didn't the judge, like, talk to him behind closed doors without you present? When he had to talk to him because he and his friends broke into Bean Padre and stole that stuff. And then fucking dumbass tried to hide it in a couch. And I was like sitting on the couch. I'm like, why won't it was like a bed couch, what are those couches? What are they called? I can't remember. I can't remember words today. And so it wouldn't go down. So, and there was all this like beef jerky and soda in there, and he and his friend's dad had a key because he worked there. He was like a manager at Bean Padre. It was a distribution center in Redding, California in the 80s. And so they got the keys, and there are tunnels all over every place. And they go climb, find the tunnel on the outskirt, go in underneath, and then go up in, and then unlock the stuff, and then they go and sell. Well, they gave me, I got a 6-pack. I said, well, I want to do it too. I want to make some money too. So I'd take a 6-pack to school and sell it for 50 cents a piece. Well, the gig was up, right? They got busted. And so they had to go see a judge and eat. It's all Freemason shit, I mean, my brother has been, people don't get compromised. They allow themselves to be compromised. Everybody's got free will. So, I remember having a conversation with him, and he's like, you've always lived from your heart. Like it's some sort of fucking like I'm the bad guy. Yeah, Jer? And guess where it got me? In the same hometown where Mom was born from. Because I was just, this good-hearted person that believes that if you do the right things, that your life is directed down a course of a path that, it may not be the best life for you, but it's if you live from your heart and follow guidance and direction and have some discipline, then it's a lot, it makes for better stories. So, anyway, I've been talking a while. Me and Mom, hey Carl, what's up? It was, I remember, I talked about that later. Yeah, I know it's not me. That's why people don't recognize me to be a remarkable person, because they've never done no remarkable shit. I get that. I know. I just am trying not to be a fucking cocky, arrogant asshole. No, we have there's no contact. We're not allowed. The last conversation we had, is like, no. And then I asked to video chat with my sister so I could read a letter that my mom had written when to my brother when he was like 5, when he was her age at the time. And they were like, went down, because his wife is from Central America, so they go down to Central America every couple years for a couple weeks. So, they were down, and so, or I think maybe they were in France this time or something. I don't know. They'd like to travel around a lot, while me and Mom are just trying to fucking. It's so funny, dude. And my life is a total joke. And so, like, I invited his wife and my nieces. I was gonna have a birthday party when I turned 50, and I ended up not, because nobody gives a shit, and I didn't want to plan a party and nobody show up and then become resentful. So I just decided not to do it, and I did something else instead. But he calls me up, and he's like, you can imagine my surprise when I hear that my wife gets a text message inviting her and my daughters to your to your birthday. And I was like, Jerry, you don't own them. And he's like, she's my wife. Like, yes, I do. And I'm just like, dude, you are a scary, scary person that you think. And because he the way he responds, like when you give him advice, because I was a little girl, so I would share my experience of what it was like, and he took that me as giving him parenting and advice, and he would just, like, a switch would turn and a light would go, and he'd be like, do not tell me how to raise my daughters. And it's like, dude, only one of them is your daughter. The other one's your step. You know, she's not your... So, you know, Mr. Control, don't you know who I am? Yeah, you're a fucking, you know, probably a bottom. That's who you are, dude. Hey, Carl, what's up? Anyway, because I know how these assholes are. And then I'd know and then I'd know people, and then I just ask questions, man. That's how I learn about how people are. I ask questions. So, I went and walked around downtown. I gave a couple stickers out to people. See, that's what I do is I'll give them to shop owners, or people that work in the grocery store, or people that work in busy restaurants, local restaurants where a lot of people frequent, that I have a similar heart space to, where I go to. And then I tell them, if they see it and they like it, then tell them I sell it at Taos Canyon. It's across from McDonald's, and my t-shirt's there too. So I'm trying to build community here. I just, you know, like attracts like, and when you're a nacho neurotypical like me, dude, I've been looking my whole life for other people like me. I dip in on people's radars, and I find people like we're similarity, you know. I you know, plenty to sustain me, just to find someone like it. It don't happen. Yeah, bottoms are lazy. That's for sure. Hey, Carl, did you see I figured out how to braid my hair? Look how fucking long this shit's getting. Because on my earlier videos, just a couple years ago, like when I left Oregon, it was the last short haircut I got. So it'll be 4 years in December. So, but I kept it short a little while here, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. It's just, everything's a blur. So, but I took pictures today. That's just ridiculous. 180% higher than the average pay for state employees, and 170.9% higher than the national average for government employees. And he's an Army JAG. There's only 4,000 Army JAGs in the whole United States, in all of the Army. So he would get like the special assignments because he's in a fraternity. So his bros would be like, "Hey, dude, you want to come down to Australia and play war?" "Yeah, sure." And then fucking they go down there. You know, America go down. And then all of a sudden, Australia just starts burning down, like right where he was. It's amazing. But you know, and then he was like, because when he was in Iraq for a year, you could just get a hop. You know, you could just $20 get on a plane. So go to Japan. He went to, I think that was after he came back. But he went to like Scotland at some point, did the whiskey tour. You know, it's the life of privilege, man. And I was right smack in the middle of it, and my heart just won't let me live that way. It just will not allow it. So life is such a trip. What do you want to watch? We started watching this book that I read when I was young. Young. And it was written... I need to turn off the AC because it's starting to get cold. I made burgers on the grill. You getting hungry, Mom? First published in 1962.
No, 1962.
But I read it in probably 82. By Magdalene L. Ingle was the author. Ellen Raskin was the illustrator for the 1960 editions. See, ever since I was a little kid, I picture things in my mind. And so I read books, and then I have a hard time reading books because I go off so far off on imagining things in my mind. I'd only grasp certain words.
Yeah.
And so they said I had comprehension problems. But I was coming up with my own versions based on what I was reading. I was just using it as a stepping stone, not as the whole story. And so, or we could watch Young Sheldon. That's a good one too. But it's A Wrinkle in Time is the story, and Mom and I started watching that story this morning. So I think we're gonna do that next. But it's rainy here. It's like chilly. It's it's kind of nice. It's cool. It's a pleasant day. Moving on. You getting hungry? Yeah, you are now? Before I started the talk, she wasn't, so I'm glad she is now. So, all right, for those of you hanging out, thanks for hanging out. I'll be back eventually. Huh?
That's a good picture.
That's me, Ma. That's the camera.
I know.
All right, that's all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.
Smile.
Huh?
You have a nice smile.
Oh, you got a nice smile too, Ma.